Hi, my name is Patrick Vandendriessche, and today I'll be talking about a new job offering at Edward Jones for a new financial advisor. Always being interested in the stock market since I was a kid. I've always been interested in how it works, what drives numbers up, what drives them down. So that was really easy for me to find something that I was actually interested in for this presentation. And during my research, I found out that the average salary was $64,000 annually. And then it sparked my interest even more about this because I looked online and they actually had a lot of offers for jobs in the area, so I'd actually decided to apply for it. All right, so now I'm going to talk about Edward Jones itself as a company. Edward Jones is a Fortune 100 company. It has two headquarters, one in Tempe, Arizona, and then one in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, they primarily deal with single clients. That means that we have single clientele come in. We give them investment advice, stock broker advice, as well as insurance advice. That means that we bring new families in. We see what insurance policy fits their family needs the best. Now, one of Edward Jones' biggest strengths is its size. You see right here on this chart, Edward Jones is actually top-ranked U.S. employer for finance. With over 12,200 offices nationwide, it has more offices than any other firm. Now, its biggest competitors, places like E-Trade, Vanguard, Quicken Loans, they're also very large companies. But Edward Jones also is awarded 7th in the nation for Forbes magazine's top 100 places for women in the workplace, which I think shows that the company is very well run and has a lot of extra equal opportunities. Now, there is also a downside to Edward Jones. In the long-term investment aspect, places like TD Ameritrade and E-Trade prosper because they have a very high commission rate but no annual fee. Edward Jones's weakness is it has a $300 annual fee. Now, the way they buffer their weakness is with a low commission rate. Now, that attracts high-profile, high-quantity stockbrokers, which means they trade day-to-day multiple times without a large commission fee. So 1% commission fee normally at the most is usual for Edward Jones. And with 7 million customers around the nation, Edward Jones is obviously a very large company. They're the only firm that serves the individual investors exclusively, which I think is great. It really gives them one arm up on most of the other competition. And that was really one of the big reasons why I chose Edward Jones as a topic for this presentation and hopefully as a future job. Now, to wrap it up shortly, I'll be talking about the questions that I'll be asking for the interview. My first question would most likely ask the person who is interviewing me, how does Edward Jones differ from other firms? Now, knowing that I already had this background with my research, the reason why I would ask this question would be to see how truthful my interviewer is about his own company. Because most people that are interviewing and that are recruiting, they hype up their companies, they tell false things in order to just get you to sign on. So having this background will actually allow me to know if my interviewer is telling me the truth. The second question would be how flexible is the hours? I'm a college student, full-time, takes a lot of time out of my day. So it's really important for me to have a good job right now that is very flexible with my hours. The third question I'd probably ask would be how diverse is their portfolio? This will kind of allow me to get the current status of all of their clienteles, which will allow me to see, are they really popular around this area? Will I get a lot of customers? Or are they more of a low-end tier broker firm around this area? It'll kind of help me tell that. The fourth question I would ask is how many current advisors they have on. This will also kind of go back to question 2 about the hours. It'll help me decide if they'll actually be able to be as flexible as they are. And then the fifth and final question that I would ask would most likely be when can I start? It shows a lot of confidence. I like that. But it also kind of, it allows me to start thinking about factors like training, processing all my information, because stuff like that can take months without pay. So I would like to have a certain knowledge of when I'd be able to start. And finally, I know it's not very respectable to ask what the salary is, but I'd probably, after the handshake, I'd ask, by the way, what's the average? And I did some research, and I believe I found that the average salary for a financial advisor in this area was about $64,000 annually a year. So after my research, I've really been interested in this, and I might actually go out and apply for this job.